Hey, great to have you here. So I want to do something a little bit different in this video. I haven't done a video talking about music in quite a while, so it's something that I'm passionate about, and the impression that music can leave on us is very impactful. So I wanted to talk about 5 incredible songs from 5 bands that I listened to growing up, so about 20 to 25 years ago. Crazy that it's been that long. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this list. If you haven't heard any of these songs and you like rock music, definitely encourage you to check them out. So our first song is going to be Walls Come Down by Seether. This is a band that I really enjoyed growing up, so Remedy, Fine Again, Rise Above This, their cover of Careless Whisper, even The Gift is one. I remember back in the day, back when we had MySpace, I think that was the song I had on my MySpace page. That's how old some of these songs are, but really loved their discography growing up and just a lot of the songs that they had. This song, Walls Come Down, that they recently came out with, is a similar sounding vibe to Words as Weapons, if you're familiar with that song. This song has a really catchy hook of a chorus, combined with a great guitar solo. As far as the meaning of the song, the lyrics really cover topics of striving to be more confident in yourself, and just ultimately discovering yourself, which, speaking of discovering, that leads us to our next band, and that is Silverstein, who just came out with a new song called Don't Let Me Get Too Low. I think this is the newest song on this list, and I mentioned Discovering ties into this band because Discovering the Waterfront was actually the album I'm most familiar with. I remember having that growing up, and Smile in Your Sleep was really the go-to classic hit by Silverstein, in my opinion. That song was always on repeat. As far as the meaning behind Don't Let Me Get Too Low, it's somewhat of your typical emo song where relatable lyrics about putting yourself in a bad situation and just feeling really overwhelmed by the whole situation. The song combines some really visceral screams alongside a really catchy melody, so awesome combination. I love that duo that a lot of songs do, where they have this really catchy chorus, then alongside that, they have this really aggressive scream at some point. So great stuff from Silverstein here. Next up is a band that needs absolutely no introduction, and that's Linkin Park's Heavy Is the Crown. So growing up, Hybrid Theory and Meteora were iconic albums by Linkin Park, and all the songs on those are really great. Some of their later stuff wasn't as strong for me personally, but I definitely still listen to it here and there. The subject matter of Heavy As the Crown is a little bit different here. It's kind of intuitive based off the title of the song, but it really talks about being on top, and while it's challenging, they're ultimately going to reign supreme. It's a really good pump-up song overall. And yeah, just the vibes of this one is very typical Linkin Park. The guitar plays what we've come to expect. Obviously, you can't replace Chester, but Emily's really great here with a catchy chorus, as well as an excellent scream near the end of the song, similar to the next band we're going to cover. I don't know if this is true. I've heard Emily's scream is the same length as Chester's scream in Given Up. I think it's like 17 seconds. It's super long scream, but supposedly they match those up to be the same. So kind of cool if that is true. Either way, really impressive screams by her in this song. Speaking of bands that know how to end a song with a great scream, next up we have Breaking Benjamin with Awaken. So Breaking Benjamin had some really great classics. They had Breath, So Cold, Diary of Jane. I really vividly remember Blow Me Away was an awesome song on the Halo 2 soundtrack. I remember seeing all the AMVs that had Halo gameplay over the top of that song, so just awesome song there and just awesome band overall. I feel like Breaking Benjamin just really had that cool factor about them. As far as the subject matter of this song, Awaken, it seems to be about going through some difficult times and somewhat being reborn through the whole experience. This song has all of your typical expectations of a Breaking Benjamin hit. Great vocals, great guitar play, and once again, an epic scream moment later in the song. Just awesome stuff here by Breaking Benjamin. Finally, our last band is 3 Days Grace with their song Mayday. I remember the first time hearing 3 Days Grace with I Hate Everything About You. From there, they had 1X, which really is an all-timer album. They had stuff like Pain, Never Too Late, Animal I've Become, and Riot. Just a great album across the board. Adam was really amazing as their lead singer. I know he went off and did other projects, and then Matt did a pretty good job in the meantime with stuff like I Am Machine I really enjoyed. When I first heard the song and realized they were both in it, I was in total shock. It's great to see a former singer and a current singer combine into one song with, like, Killswitch Engage is one that comes to mind when they worked together on the Signal Fire. The video here for Mayday is awesome. You have a plane with pilots, so the two lead singers are the pilots, and it's kind of bad CGI, but it's kind of funny still either way with a plane on the outside. In the interior of the plane, things are going crazy. It's just a wild video across the board. The song starts with a really awesome bass pedal, and I love the back and forth of the vocals. You'll have Adam singing at one point, and you'll have Matt singing at one point, and just a great flow of combination there. As far as the subject matter for this one, I think it talks about when life kicks you down and you're being blindly led by others, and based on the current state of affairs, you're barely kind of holding on at this point in time. But despite all that, don't give up. The one line that really hammers that point is, we won't ever say Mayday, so we're never going to give up despite all this other chaos and BS going on around us. So that wraps up my list. So to recap, we had songs by Seether, Silverstein, Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin, and 3 Days Grace. What are your thoughts on these songs or bands? Are there any other great songs out today that you think should be mentioned here? Stuff by bands that are from the early to mid-2000s. Just let me know. As I mentioned at the beginning, I love talking music, so I would love to engage with you guys down in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to talk to you again soon.